Hello, everyone. There has been a lot of talk pretty much since May 3rd of 2024, primarily. There was a little bit of discussion before this about Drake and pedophilia. And I'm being direct purposefully in this video because, no pun intended, I'm tired of beating around the bush. And primarily, there's a lot of categories, but there's really three main groups, for lack of a better word, that I see when we talk about this topic. There are the Drake fans that says this is outrageous. How dare anybody can say this, as if there aren't reasons that people are thinking this. There are people who strongly dislike Drake. Some strong Kendrick Lamar fans is like, yeah, to the umpteen thousand degree, he's just nasty. And while they may be polar opposites, I understand both sides. And I understand both sides because at least you're committed, and I understand where commitment comes from. That doesn't mean I think that you're right. I just understand because I understand why. You really, really love Drake, or you really, really hate Drake. The one that causes me the most concern is the third group that's in the middle that saw some things that did not look right to them and probably was appalled by this and then moved on. What's the answer? Then I thought I'm a hypocrite. I have to be a hypocrite because I have videos. I was appalled by this, and I never sat down to have a concrete answer. Not just an answer, but a specific reason as to why I feel the way I feel. So I want to do that with this video. Cause for discussion, and then you do the same for yourself. Don't run. Choose an answer and say why you feel the way you feel. And if you do this, I'd like to hear your answer in the comments, no matter what it is. So to start my deep analysis, I had to first say pedophile. No, I don't think Drake is a pedophile. So then I remembered a word that I have heard about in my past called hebephilia. Hebephilia is liking pre-adolescent girls, typically around the age of 11 to 14 years old. I was able to quickly throw that out. And I can confidently say I have never seen a shred of evidence to point in any direction of I might want to stay away from that dude because of hebephilia. So I'm like, is there something that's older, like 15 to 19 years old? There is. Ephebophilia. Let me read you the definition of that. It's the primary sexual interest in mid to late adolescence, generally ages 15 to 19. This is where we can start. We're going to work from here, and I'm going to give you my answer. I already have my answer. The answer is no. That's not interesting, though. The interesting thing is, how did I get to know? There has been people I really admire, like Moni, salute. Make sure y'all go subscribe to her channel. People who I don't really care for, like What's the Dirt? And everybody in between who has shown multiple clips in strange situations dealing with Drake being around or dealing with girls that are around that age bracket, 17, 18, 19 years old. So are you saying, John, you're just dismissing what you saw? No, I'm not dismissing what I saw. And no, I'm not taking up for Drake. And yes, I personally find that nasty. It was at this point that I wanted to go and just look at the kind of women that throughout Drake's career to show where he may have had some attraction. And I went all the way back to the absolute beginning of his career. What kind of women were Drake into at the beginning of his career? He was into the older women, the older big booty BBL women. Matter of fact, that is what was stuck to his reputation far before kissing a 17-year-old on stage. You can clean the sinuses when you can say something that clear and direct looking into a camera and don't have to worry about anything happening to you because he literally kissed a 17-year-old girl. So then now I'm really thinking, why would Drake come into the industry and love these kind of older women, big butt BBL women? Drake did an interview in 2009 asking him what kind of women he attracted to. You know what he said? He said Cherokee the ass. Now you young people may not know Cherokee the ass. But I do. Cherokee, the ass, have been very influential in helping young black men around my age when we was younger get to know our bodies a little bit better. I was shocked when Drake said this. I didn't think the little biracial kid from Canada was the kind of chicks he into. I liked Drake more when he said it in the interview in 2009 because I'm like, those are the kind of chicks I like too, Drake. Then what did Drake do? Drake went and started smashing older women who are shaped and look like Cherokee the ass. Remember Tahiri, Joe Budden's ex-girlfriend? But don't just focus on Joe Budden because your brain is instantly going to go, well, Drake and Joe Budden had beef. No. Every sports guy, everybody wanted to smash Tahiri. She was the poster woman way back 15 some odd years ago for the apple bottom jeans, the figure. But again, went along with the kind of women Drake was going after. He was going after older, shapely women. So how did it go from this to this? And I'll tell you how. It's because Drake doesn't have any kind of parameter he goes for with women. I take that back, he does. He has one thing that he looks for when he chooses the person he allegedly sleeps with. You know what that one thing is? Whoever you like. They say when you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. That's what happened in the Drake situation. That's what happened to his reputation. The kind of women that Drake wanted, being the outsider from Toronto, Canada, wanting to rap, wanting to be a rapper, wanting to come into this industry, he went after the popular chick that rappers liked. So if he's going after the popular chick somebody else liked, I have nothing to show me that this is what he truly likes. He's molding himself for something that he sees others do. And he doesn't just do this with women. He's done this throughout his entire career. What is Drake's favorite sound? I have no fucking idea. I know that Drake has a sound that we associate with himself through his producer 40. This is someone that's his friend who's around him, choosing his friend's beat. We put that on to Drake, but that didn't come from Drake's brain. That came from his friend who he shows loyalty to. That's 40's sound, not Drake's sound. What is Drake's sound? Drake's sound is whatever is popular. You like Atlanta right now? I'm going to do Atlanta. You like dance hall? I'm going to do dance hall. What's Drake's voice? I don't fucking know. I know how they talk in Toronto, but I got footage and saw when Drake was younger, he wasn't talking like that, even though he's from there. I have no clue. He can sound like he's from Houston. He can sound like he's from Atlanta. He can sound like he's from Great Britain. He always, across any topic, does what he thinks other people like. So, John, how do we get back to it all of a sudden changing to these weird situations where Drake found himself in the bathroom with allegedly 2 teenage girls and spilling drinks on himself? Found himself allegedly going on dates when somebody hovers around the age of 18. How did it go from this to that? You ever heard of an actress by the name of Drew Barrymore? Probably if you're younger, you haven't heard of her, but she's a very popular actress that has been in the industry for over 40 some odd years. I remember she got her start in dark movies like I Like, being around 8 years old, and Firestarter. And then more popular mainstream movies that really made her career take off as a young actress in the movie E.T. She played the little girl in E.T. Then she fell off as a child. She becomes an adult and she bursts right back into the film industry, starring in the movie Scream. She is the blonde woman that died at the beginning. It was a very big shock because she had a big name in Hollywood. So the shock of the movie was, we're going to make you believe she's the star of the entire movie and we're going to kill her right at the beginning. And then she started producing her own movies, funny movies with Adam Sandler, independent films. John, what the fuck does Drew Barrymore has to do with anything with Drake and what's going on? I remember seeing footage of Drew Barrymore high out of her fucking mind and drunk out of her mind, dancing at parties in Hollywood. And as shocking as it was to see a little girl like this, it wasn't me staring at her that was shocking to me. It was me staring at everybody around her, just dancing, just moving around. I'm like, hello, there's a fucking 11-year-old girl right here. Who gave her the drugs? Why are y'all cool? What the hell is going on? Then it hit me. Hollywood. This shit is normal in Hollywood. This shit is normal in the being famous society. If you have a man that stands for nothing, that has no taste, no qualifications, except for the one where he goes in, sees what's popular, and try to mold himself into it, he becomes famous and gets into Hollywood. Wait a minute. It seems like all these cool motherfuckers is out here fucking these 17-year-olds, these 16-year-olds, these 18-year-olds. It don't matter if you're in your 30s or 40s or not. This is the cool shit to do. I found my answer. I found my answer of how I can answer for what I think Drake is, and I can intelligently say why I feel the way that I feel. I see a follower that does anything he thinks other people should do because he actually stands for nothing. He don't have any barometer or morals that he will hold himself accountable to not get him in such situations. Hence why he has never addressed these in detail. Hence why the same way Drew Barrymore would have been in these parties in the fucking 80s, Drake can have a party on a boat and allegedly have somebody like a Millie Bobby Brown there, and he feels it's okay to text a fucking 14-year-old little girl. Why would Drake not think that's okay to do when he has now positioned himself into a world where this kind of behavior is totally normal? This made me think about celebrities too, such as we falsely believe when people make videos like What's the Dirt or Moni and any video exposing altogether the things that Drake have done, we believe that only us who have this time have watched this. I assure you, those same videos we watched that got those millions of views, one day Taylor Swift sit down, probably bought herself or her iPad, or she was sitting with her friends and watch that fucking video. One day Usher watched that fucking video. One day fucking, I don't know, pick somebody famous. They sat down and they watched this. Some of these people were totally fine. Some of these people was looking at those video documentary these YouTubers put up and was like, I didn't know he did all of this. This is sick. And after they turned that video off, they went to an all-white party with Mike Rubin, saw Drake there, shook his hand, and took a photo with him. Why? How can something be off-putting to you, but you stop right there? So now it's time for me to take this information and do some self-reflection. How do I feel about this information? A hebephile, or someone who is naturally have a craving for girls, aka women, between the ages of 15 to 19-year-old, you're going to see something in their behavior where they can't stop this. This is a sickness, so they can't stop. Example, R. Kelly. R. Kelly got away with it scot-free. I just confuse all you young people because you're like, how did he get away scot-free? He got arrested. Because you guys are too young to realize this blew up in his face in the year 2000, 2001. People was running around sharing his tape. The worst part of his career, he's going down. And he survived it. He didn't get any prison time. He got to go on to make even more classic albums and escape something that could destroy his career. But as a hebephile with a sickness, he could not stop. Continued to do this, and then he got caught. You hate R. Kelly. Let me move closer to people that you like to make you feel uncomfortable. Why is it these videos come out about Drake and we make faces and we feel uncomfortable, and then we champion and give a standing ovation and say, it's about time. About time they gave Leonardo DiCaprio that Academy Award. Woo! Leo the man, boy. Leo like hip hop. Leo DiCaprio love Outkast. Leo, he's an amazing. Leo DiCaprio is watching Drake go through it right now while Drake was trying to hide it. While Drake was having sex with a bunch of women older than him and all kind of women under the sun, mixing all this up together, Leonardo DiCaprio says, fuck that shit, I'm that nigga. I'm only gonna date these young chicks. I'm gonna do this consecutively. You're never gonna see me with nobody around my age. You're never gonna see me with nobody 10 years younger than me. Bruh, if they're 18, they with me. How can somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio be praised, put this directly in our face, and then we go and vilify somebody who is a piece of shit follower that stood for nothing, put himself in these situations? Drake would have no problem never ever again be seen with someone around 18, 19 years old, because he never had that as his initial craving. His initial craving is, whatever you like, I want that, because I have not learned how to feel adequate with myself as a human being and as a person. I don't know what I love. I don't know what I need. But I know that there's something that you really, really like and you find cool. So if I do that, then that'll make me feel better about myself. Which is, for lack of a better word, that's fucking sad. That's sad for any human to be that way or experience that or go through something like that. But that's all the evidence that's showing me about Drake. So now I got to come back to myself, because when I don't like something, I don't like the action. You got to stand on that. So I can't come out here and bash Drake and then buy a movie ticket to a Leonardo DiCaprio movie and never say anything bad about him. I can't go in silence as if this highly weird shit is okay, but vilify Drake. Either highly weird is totally cool, then I move Drake over here and Drake is totally cool. Or it's Drake is fucking disgusting and everybody else that's doing that shit is fucking disgusting. But you can't sit and hide in the middle without answering this question about what do you feel about this? Because you're hiding behind your fear. You're using that to mask the fact that I don't want any issues. I don't have to think. I don't have to stand on anything. Is the shit wrong or is the shit not wrong? You're afraid to say the shit not wrong because you're going to look as a creep who in your older 30s, 40s, whatever, that don't mind being around these little young ass girls. You're scared to say the shit is wrong because you don't know how deep the rabbit hole can get. How many more people are you going to have to move away from? So you just sit in the middle. All of us, including myself, everybody has to be called out on this. Because how can you say Drake stands for nothing if you aren't standing for anything yourself? That's it. That's my video. I signed.